This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world. Our next guest on Femme House Radio is DJ Paulette. She has held residencies at the Hacienda in Manchester, the Ministry of Sound, and Pasha and Pikes in Ibiza, to name a few. She has supported Janelle Monáe, Black Coffee, Too Many DJs, Soul Wax, Derek Carter, Duke Dumont, Junior Sanchez, and the list goes on. Paulette knows how to read, then flip a room to create dynamic and uplifting experiences on the dance floor. She's a radio host herself on Worldwide FM and Reform Radio. She is involved in youth work, activism, and mentoring. She stands for equality and diversity in her personal life and in her career. Paulette, it's an honor to have you on Femme House Radio.
Oh, it's an honour to join you. I've seen your releases coming up on the Beatport Top 10, on the Beatport Top 10. So if it's an honour for me to be with you, it's a massive honour for me to be here.
Thank you. Wow, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the invite.
So tell us your origin story. How did you become the powerful DJ you are today?
By accident, and that's, it's just totally too short words for the story. It was an accident. I didn't plan to be a DJ, but I bought records. I bought lots of records, and the first gig I was ever given was just simply because the girl who was putting on the party had run out of money to employ a big name DJ, and a mutual friend of ours had told her that I had lots of records, so she asked me if I would play the party from 9 till 2. She offered me £30, which was a lot of money at the time because it's early 90s, and I said yes. I'd never played in a club before. I'd never considered being a DJ before, but I'd been clubbing since I was 15 years old, so I had a fair idea of what I wanted to hear in a nightclub for all of that time, and I played the party on my own from 9 till 2. I had a sound and lights guy next to me who I kept saying, I can hear myself saying, "Ian, what do I do now?" And he'd say, "Push that button, move that fader." And that was my learning on the job. It was just a pure baptism of fire, and I played from 9 o'clock in the evening till 2 in the morning with him occasionally saying, "Push that button, move that fader," or "Do it the other way around," and me just trying to figure out how to do it. And nobody left. Everybody enjoyed the music. I'd never done it before. I don't remember going to the toilet. And at the end of it, I just knew that this was something that I'd really enjoyed and that I wanted to do more of. And from there, the club offered me my own residency, which I started. And the next thing that happened was the girl that put on that party said, "We should approach the people at the Hacienda who are doing this gay party and see if we can host their second room," which is what we did. And they said yes. And
what a journey for you. That is basically a huge second step. Well, that is
it
such a
giant
cool story.
leaps.
Yeah, huge leap. And you just leaped and that appeared and you took it. I love that. So you were an activist in the music industry and beyond. I love the article in DJ Mag with you and Ann's. It really hit me hard when you said, "Forgiveness has to come from us and the change has to come from them." That was like, whew.
Yeah.
And in the pandemic, you were super busy streaming. You were streaming with like Boiler Room, Glitterbox, Beatport. I mean, the list goes on and on. So how did you adapt from playing to dance floors to playing in front of a webcam? What was that process like for you?
The process to start with was, I think it was a bit like, when you go to take a dog for a walk and it just doesn't want to go. And like the paws are like, dragging and you can pull it and it's not moving, you know, it just doesn't want to go. So that was me at the beginning of the pandemic with the idea of streaming, because I've been DJing for so many years and I've been DJing to real people, and I really did not see or feel that streaming was going to hit people in the same way. You know, I didn't feel like music could travel over the net and get people to have that emotional connection that we really have in real life online. But then I had a little think about how I wanted to present it, and I just felt like I always tried to give some kind of message and make some kind of personal contact with people. So in every stream that I did, it was basic. It was completely basic. No green screen, no effects, nothing fancy. There was nothing fancy about anything that I did, but it was just purely acting, reaching out, making like little signs for real people, so when they were watching they could see that their names were stuck to the curtains in the boiler room, like those little clouds in the boiler room thing had all the names of the people that had helped me put that stream together. So everything within the frame, even though it looks like, oh, that's just a room, everything within the room was coded, and every message that I showed was personal, and it was a very personalized way of playing the music whilst I was in the room on my own. So I just tried to leapfrog over that gap of there being absolutely nobody in my room other than a stuffed Sergei. You know, it's just like I had 2 stuffed toys and that was all I saw for 18 months, and that will drive anybody crazy. But
yeah, how was your...
I just tried...
Because I have no doubt that the people on the other side got a gift from you and enjoyed it. How was your experience with it? You know, did you have the same, obviously you're not going to have a dance floor that's fueling you, but were you fueled in a different way at all?
Yeah, I mean, I love entertaining anyway, and I knew people were watching, and I could see from the messages, you know, the love that I was getting. So even though there wasn't anybody physically in front of me, I could see what people were saying and I could respond to that. In some of the streams, I was responding in real time to what was happening and writing signs in real time to what people were asking me.
You know,
but for me...
Go ahead, sorry.
Do you want to go? No, well, no. For me as well, it was a way to bring me through the lockdown as well, in order to put me back into performing, to put me back into the headset of sharing this gift of music that we weren't able to do in any other way. So it was very much a mutual relationship.
Absolutely.
And a mutual connection.
When the pandemic hit and I had 52 shows canceled, you know, straight away my manager was like, you're gonna have to start streaming, like this could last for years, you know, we don't really know. And my first reaction was, over my dead body, like what is the point of streaming? To, like, my job as a DJ is to read a dance floor, and if there's no dance floor in front of me, what am I doing even? And I was really kicking and screaming, you know, and she really had to like pull teeth to get me to do it. And once I started doing it, I found this like it was so weird, like I could still like, you know, read the dance for a little bit through the chat, and I could still feel when a mix just like felt right, and like it allowed me to just, I didn't have to like kind of go so hard the dance floor. It allowed me to like, you know, loop things longer, and like I have a piano when I DJ, so like, and kind of like jam on the piano. It just like made me like sort of become like a jam band more than like a straight up DJ, and it actually was one of the most cathartic, beautiful experiences I've had, and there's no way I could have gone through the pandemic without it. I was blown away by how much I loved streaming by the end.
Yeah, because I think what happened is it also brought it back to performing. And it enabled me to rediscover a side of me that had maybe been sidelined. So you have to find a different way of connecting with people, and that performance aspect was key. You know,
Absolutely.
there were millions, you know, like thousands of streams online at the same time, all the time, and the only way you could really put your head over the parapet and be in any way different is to give something more than just playing a few tunes with your head bowed. You know, you have to perform.
Absolutely, and you are so good
Performing
at it.
seal, you know, not even in a look at me kind of way, but it's just, I'm giving you a show, you know, you had to make it some kind of show. And I know, like, John Digweed did his All in Complete Darkness, but even that in itself is a show. You had to figure
thoughtful.
out some way of making a show of it rather than just click on and I'm playing some tunes.
Absolutely, I could not agree with you more. So, okay, I'm actually going to be out in your neck of the woods in December. I'm going out there to play Printworks with MK. And I know that you played Printworks, and
I love this place.
What was it like for you? I'm already so nervous my stomach hurts, and it's months away. So what was the experience like for you?
Are you playing the main room? I mean, it's just the sound system is great. The size and expanse of it is great.
From the view of the DJ, does it look as big as it looks in the photos online?
It's huge. It really is huge. So you will have a ball. You really will. I mean, I love it. The light show is incredible. That, like, everyone that works there, from the back of all the backline workers, lights, sound, hospitality, artist liaison, everything. It's just such a slick operation anyway, and they will really look after you. They will really look after you, and it's a great place to play.
And you played some, like, have a residency on or played the most iconic venues in the world. I've never been to a Glitterbox party, but that is like a dream of mine.
Oh, you would be amazing. But you know, I can't say who, you know. But
what is it like to play one of those?
Well, yeah. Again, well, because I played when I played for Glitterbox, I played at the Printworks. So.
Oh, that was at Printworks. Oh,
yeah. That was at Printworks as well. Yeah.
I just feel like those. Like, whenever I've seen, I've watched like a lot of YouTube videos of Printworks. of Glitterbox sets. Like whenever they upload one or whatever, and the dance floor looks so joyous. The people there look like so just it looks like one of the kinder crowds. And I'm just wondering if that is really your experience.
Yeah, totally, absolutely. I would swear to that hand on heart. The people that follow Defected Records and that follow Glitterbox, they're really musically minded first of all, and then, you know, they say, you know, it's all about love, isn't it? It's where love lives, and they try to keep that vibe, you know, running throughout everything that they do. And, you know, I just played the Defected party at the Drum Sheds, and the people there were amazing, you know, just so nice and so open, and even, you know, finishing the party and seeing the response and the feedback from people that had been there, and they're just really blown away by how nice people were there. So yeah. It's a great crowd.
So awesome.
You know, one of the best parties that you can play.
I love it, because in my mind that's like I've romanticized it to be that. So it's cool to hear somebody who's actually played that is.
It's amazing, you know, and I can watch it, and whatever time I've played her, I'm still kind of looking up and thinking, one day maybe the main stage, you know, it's something, you know, it's an ambition.
Absolutely.
You know, for us.
I mean, I just got my first release is coming out next Friday on Defected, and I'm just like, okay, the one, you know, first good brick has been laid. Play. I mean, really what I need to do is move to Europe, because you guys have infinitely better dance music. Have you come and, I mean, it's true, it's just, which is wild because it started in Chicago, you know, and I don't know what happened out here, but anyways, what have you done any touring out in the US?
I haven't, and I'm hoping that, you know, once we get out of this we can't travel and we can't go and we're not allowed and we're not welcome. Once all the countries start to welcome each other, I am hoping, because there have been rumblings about me going out to the States for 2022. So I'm just praying.
If you are able to, we're putting together a Femme House tour in 2022, some cool club shows in the US, and just please keep me updated, because it would just be a dream to have some of those lineups.
I will, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Amazing. I will let you know.
Okay, so your Shiro's EP, I love it. So do you plan on doing more production stuff? How has that fit into your DJ life, the balance of that?
Well, I have, I've just started to get back into it, because I am not one of the DJs, producers that is particularly technically gifted with software, so I have to work alongside an engineer and a producer and get someone to master it and all of that. But I've got all the parts in place now. I've got all the people in place now, and I did my first official remix, which was out yesterday on for an artist called Abisha, and the track's called If You Were Mine, and the remix was out yesterday.
Congratulations! That's a huge deal. Putting out a release, the amount of work that goes into that, and a remix is essentially making an original. So it's actually a ton of work. So that is awesome. Yeah.
I wanted to do something that was, one of the tracks I really love is Latour's Blue. And I wanted to try and do something as sexy and a bit moody, but also main flourish with this Abisha track. So we had to slow it down, strip it down, put some different effects in and do different things with the vocals and that. But I think, for a first remix, I'm really super proud of it. So
you absolutely should be. That is so cool. And I talk about this a lot, but there's been a funny thing that's happened in dance music specifically, it seems, where the producers actually sort of become the engineer. Like when you were talking about the technical aspects of making the music. Yeah. That's been my bit. When I started doing this, I had no natural ability working and finding my way through Ableton or Pro Tools, or I started in Pro Tools, but eventually moved to Ableton, and it was an uphill battle for me, and I'm grateful to have gone through the experience. But at the same time, it's been funny to realize like Rick Rubin is one of the most famous producers in the world. He does not touch a computer. He is not the engineer.
Oh, really?
And it does not. And in the dance world, the producer is also the engineer, which is actually a totally different skill set. It's like if you have the ideas, and if you're saying this is what I want here, that is a producer. And it's been funny how that line has sort of been blurred in the dance world, which I think has made it harder.
I think it's been a way to filter out lots of people in order to keep just a very small percentage of people at the top and doing things. And it kind of negates lots of talent, because there's
1,000%.
A whole load of talent. There's a massive talent pool, DJs and producers that can't quite make that flip. And it's been one of my mega frustrations, in that like you say, it's a bit of an uphill battle if you're not that technically minded and you can't go through it. It's like going through the fire, isn't it? But there are a ton of technically minded
people who don't have good ideas, Like the good ideas, the role of the producer, the traditional role of the producer, and I've been in sessions with so many female singers who essentially are producing, but they're not getting any credit for it, because they're not the ones touching the computer, and that is not cool.
Yeah, it's craziness. And it's a way of filtering out. It's like, why in house music, why in dance music, electronic music, is it this way when in hip hop and funk and soul and disco, it's a totally different ball game? And anyway,
exactly. Well, same page. So I think it's awesome you're doing this. It's so cool you put together a team. I'm really excited to follow your productions, and congrats.
Yeah, I have to give my my production partner a big shout, Tim Levy. He is absolutely amazing. We sit together, we bounce ideas between ourselves, and it's a very good synergy. It's a really good relationship. And it's nice to find somebody that respects my ideas, you know, and will say, yeah, but what about this, without making it feel like
yes, and
everything that I say doesn't count. You know, it's just, it works. It's a really good relationship and it works. And I know we're going to do more.
That is wonderful to find that. That's like finding a really good partner. I mean, you know, like it's just as important, I think. So that is so awesome. And I've also had the honor of working with a lot of great production partners, and I know how joyous that experience can be, to be in a room collaborating with somebody and being heard, and it's just, that's so important and special. Congrats.
Thank you.
Now that gigs are coming back and the world is opening, how do you feel about where the industry currently is? Have you seen any positive changes, or what aspects of the industry still desperately need our attention?
Yeah, it does still need our attention. And I think what we've seen, first of all, this year is unfortunately not that much change, because for the parties that have come back, a lot of them already had a lineup arranged, because it's something that was supposed to have happened in 2020 that has been moved over to 2021. So all the change that people have promised to make hasn't necessarily translated 100% to 2021. So the hope is for the lineups in 2022 that it needs to be fully balanced. And this also means that this ain't over, and we have to keep talking. We have to keep all of these issues, gender pay gap, you know, diversity, inclusion. We have to keep all of those issues front of mind and on the table, because if we don't, 2022 and 2023, it can slide, you know, and that's what happens with politics. That is really just what happens, is that you get a little rush of energy with people saying, yeah, we'll support. Yeah. But 2 years, 3 years down the line is when it just all snaps back into how it was. So the hope is that for the lineups on 2022, we've seen it starting to change.
Yeah.
But it's not entirely there yet. So we're hoping for 2022 it's a lot more balanced.
I
and if
cannot
it's
agree
not,
with you more.
Keep shouting.
Yep, keep shouting. I love that. On that note, keep shouting. Thank you so much for being a guest on Femme House Radio. I'm a huge fan. Your energy behind the decks is just, there's nothing like it. So thank you for being you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's been amazing. It's such an honor.
This is LP Giobbi.
Listen up, children.
You are listening to Femme House Radio.
I said listen up, children.
On Diplo's Revolution, Sirius XM.
A wonderful night is made as much by the dancers as the music. Guided as much by the spirit of joy in the room as by the hand which reaches for the next record. Each of us has a role in tonight's experience. We all play in the band. I said, we all play in the band.
This is LP Giobbi, and I founded Femme House, a 501c3 foundation and educational platform that teaches the technical areas of music making for women, non-binary, trans, and other marginalized gender identities. Every week, I will be interviewing and spotlighting women in music while bringing you the best dance tunes from around the world.